Jack was deep in the alien jungle, far from his camp. The thick vines and giant leaves brushed against his arms as he pushed forward. Sweat dripped from his forehead, and the buzzing of strange insects echoed around him. He was here looking for rare herbs, plants the scientists on Earth said could cure diseases. But now, after 3 days alone, he was starting to regret volunteering. His backpack was half empty. His water bottle was almost dry. His boots were sinking into the damp soil. "Just 5 more meters," he muttered. Then I turned back. Suddenly, snap! A branch broke under his foot. The ground gave way slightly, and Jack lost balance. He tumbled down a small slope, crashing into the undergrowth with a loud thud. "Shh," he groaned, trying to stand. But before he could move, he realized he had landed on something. Soft, he looked down and froze. A pair of glowing violet eyes stared up at him. Beneath him was a girl. No an alien girl. She had smooth teal skin, wild silver hair, and strange glowing tattoos along her arms and thighs. Her body was nearly bare, except for some decorative beads and a pouch tied loosely between her legs. Jack quickly rolled off her and held up his hands. "I'm sorry, I didn't see you." The alien girl didn't look angry. In fact, she tilted her head, studying him curiously. Then she smiled and asked in perfect English, "Does the bulge between my legs intrigue you, human? Is that why you're acting strange?" Jack's face turned bright red. "What? No. I didn't mean. I wasn't even looking at. Ty just fell." The girl giggled. "You touched it. That means something." "Touched what?" "I didn't wait. What does it mean?" Jack said. Now panicking, she stood up slowly. She was tall, almost as tall as him, with a graceful, confident movement in her steps. Her pouch swung gently between her legs, glowing slightly. "You really don't know?" she asked, stepping closer. "You humans are strange, but funny." Jack stepped back, bumping into a thick tree. "Listen, I was just looking for herbs. Didn't mean to fall on you or touch. Anything, I swear." The girl's eyes narrowed slightly. "So, you don't want to claim me?" Jack choked. "What?" Before she could explain, a loud howl echoed through the jungle. The girl's smile vanished. She grabbed his hand and whispered urgently, "Too late to talk. You touched the pouch. Now you're marked. Come." Jack didn't understand, but the fear in her voice made him run. They sprinted together through the trees, dodging vines and roots. Behind them, more howls came closer now. Something was chasing them. After several minutes, they ducked into a hollow tree trunk. The girl pressed a finger to her lips. Jack held his breath. Through the cracks in the wood, he saw shadows moving. Big, fast, and too many. When the danger passed, Jack whispered, "What's going on?" "What are those things, hunters?" she said. "From my tribe. They must have sensed the bond. They're looking for you." Jack frowned. "Bond? What bond? We just met." She pointed to her pouch. "This is not decoration. It is sacred. Only the chosen mate may touch it." "You did? Now the tribe thinks I have accepted you. If you leave me now, they'll see it as betrayal." Jack's jaw dropped. "So, I'm your mate now, just because I fell on you?" The girl smirked. "That's how the tradition works." Jack sighed and leaned back against the tree. "This is going to be a long day." The girl leaned closer and said softly, "Don't worry. I like your eyes and your smell. Maybe this won't be so bad." He looked at her in confusion. "You're seriously okay with this?" She shrugged. "I was supposed to choose a mate soon anyway. Now fate has chosen for me." Jack shook his head. Earth dating is so much simpler than this. But deep down, he knew this wasn't over. He hadn't just fallen into an awkward moment, he had stepped into something much deeper. Tribal rules. Alien customs. Mating rituals he didn't understand. And worse, someone was still out there, watching, waiting. Jack sat by the edge of a glowing blue stream, trying to calm his racing heart. The jungle was silent again, but not peaceful. It felt like something had shifted. like the air itself was watching him. The alien girl Lerva sat beside him. Dipping her feet into the water like this was just a normal afternoon. Jack couldn't stop looking at the strange leather pouch hanging between her legs. Not in a creepy way, but more in a what is happening to my life kind of way. So, he started awkwardly about that pouch. She looked at him with her glowing, violet eyes. Yes, he rubbed the back of his neck. What is it? You said it's sacred, but you're wearing it out in the open, and, you said I touched it, and that means we're bonded. Lervy blinked, then chuckled. You really are clueless, aren't you? I frowned. Hey, that's not fair. Your people don't exactly hand out pamphlets. She reached down and untied the pouch gently, holding it up for him to see. Inside wasn't anything weird or biological. It held a thin crystal, warm and softly glowing. This, she said, is my lineage stone. It carries my family's essence and tribal bloodline. Only a mate can make it glow with touch. You did. Jack stared at the small crystal. So, it reacted to me? She nodded. Yes, and that hasn't happened before. He paused. What would have happened if I didn't make it glow? She shrugged. Then you would have just been a clumsy outsider with a death wish. 8. Now you are something more. Jack stood up, pacing. Okay, so I touched it and it glowed. It means I'm some kind of fated match. That doesn't make sense. I didn't mean to touch it. But it happened, she said softly. And my tribe doesn't care about your intentions. They care about the signal, the bond. Jack groaned. I just wanted some herbs and a quiet week alone. Lervy gave him a look. You stepped into sacred jungle during bonding season. You thought it would be quiet? Jack froze. Wait, bonding season? She nodded. Yes, females seek mates. Pouches are worn outside during this time. You really didn't know? He shook his head slowly, panic growing. No, of course not. I thought it was just ... Your style. She laughed a soft, melodic sound. You poor human. You thought I was just fashionable. Jack groaned again. Said now I'm marked as your chosen mate, and your tribe wants to either celebrate or kill me. She tilted her head. Mostly celebrate. If you pass the ritual of proving. He froze. What's that? Lervy's expression turned serious. A test. To see if you're worthy of me. Jack muttered under his breath. Figures. She stood and walked closer to him. You don't have to run, you know. I won't force you. You can leave, and I'll tell them you were eaten by a beast. Jack blinked. That's oddly generous. But if you stay, she continued, and pass the ritual, you won't just survive, you'll belong. You'll have a place. Have me? Jack looked at her. Really looked. She wasn't just some joke in tribal gear. She was strong. Beautiful in a fierce, wild way. And behind her teasing there was something else. Loneliness. Why are you being nice to me? He asked. Lyerve looked away, because no one else ever made the stone glow. Not once. Not even the strongest warriors. Maybe it means something. Jack sat back down, silent. For a moment, the jungle seemed still. Then she said something that made him choke. Also, if you fail the ritual, your clothes will be removed in front of the entire village before they chase you into the swamp. Jack's eyes widened. What? Lervy grinned. He sighed. Already. Regretting everything about this trip. But somewhere deep inside, strange curiosity began to grow. Jack stood at the center of the ritual circle, barefoot, shirtless, and surrounded by silent, glowing eyes. Torches lit the night, flickering against the carved stone walls of the jungle clearing. Strange symbols had been painted across his chest by Lervy herself. He didn't know what they meant, only that the paint was cold and the moment was deadly serious. Lervy stood at the edge of the circle, watching him with a strange mixture of pride and sadness. Her body shimmered under the moonlight, adorned with glowing beads and markings. She was no longer just a wild girl from the jungle. She was the tribe's warrior maiden. Jack was now her acclaimed one, but not yet her mate. Not until he passed. The trial of skin and spirit. An elder stepped forward, tall, ancient, and draped in thick vines like a forest god. His voice was deep and slow. The human has touched the sacred bulge. The stone has responded, but response is not enough.
As flesh
Can lie, spirit cannot. Let the proving begin. Jack muttered, "Great, no pressure." The crowd didn't laugh. They didn't even blink. The elder raised a carved bone staff and pointed to the first task, a shallow bowl of thick, green paste placed before Jack. "This is the sap of memory," the elder said. "Drink it. Let it show who you are inside. No lies in the mind, only truth." Jack looked at Lurvy. She gave him a slow nod. He knelt, picked up the bowl, and drank. The taste was bitter like grass, blood and fire all at once. His throat burned and his vision blurred instantly. The world bent sideways, then blackness, and then visions. Jack saw himself, a boy hiding under a table while bombs dropped outside, a teenager crying silently when his father didn't. Return from patrol. A young man rejected again and again on Earth because he wasn't strong enough, rich enough, brave enough. He saw every failure, every fear, every crack in his soul. Then the vision shifted. He saw Lurvy, standing tall. Alone, training with heavy weapons, never praised, always judged. Her tribe expected her to win everything, lead everyone. But no one ever looked into her eyes. No one ever asked if she was happy to broken souls, meeting by accident, or maybe fate. When Jack opened his eyes, he was on the ground. The bowl was shattered beside him. The elder's voice broke the silence. He drank. He saw. He did not scream. His spirit stands. A hum moved through the crowd. Dash respect. Jack slowly got to his feet. What's next? A swim through lava? Lurvy smiled faintly. No, this part is harder. The elder gestured to a wide platform behind him. On it was a strange stone bed, covered in animal skins. The trial of skin, he said. A touch is truth. Flesh reveals what words hide. Jack's face turned red instantly. Why two don't mean? No mating, the elder clarified. Only connection, with her, before the tribe. Lurvy stepped onto the platform and lay down. Waiting, Jack approached slowly, heart pounding louder than drums. He sat beside her, not sure what to do. Touch me, she whispered, but not with hands only. Touch with honesty. Let them see. He placed a trembling hand over her heart. It beat fast. His other hand brushed her cheek. Her eyes closed, and for a moment, the jungle vanished. There was no tribe, no rituals. Only two people, both afraid, both exposed then. Jack leaned closer. His forehead touched hers. Whispers moved through the crowd. The elder lifted his staff. The bond has spoken. Thunder cracked far above. The torches flared, but not everyone looked pleased. Behind the crowd, one of the warriors larger than the rest tightened her grip on her blade. She had wanted to be chosen. She would not allow a human to take her place. Lurvy saw her. Her smile faded. Jack saw her too. And just like that, the trial wasn't over. The next part wouldn't be a test of spirit. It would be a test of blood. Jack should have felt safe. He had passed the first two trials, one of spirit, one of touch. The tribe had seen his memories. They had watched him connect with Lurvy in front of everyone. The elder declared the bond awakened.
as the drums
Had beaten like thunder. The night had ended in celebration. But the morning air was not kind. There was tension in the camp. It clung to the trees, crawled on the skin. And it had a name to Vel. Shira. She was the strongest female warrior in the tribe. 7 feet tall, with skin the color of iron and eyes like molten gold. Scars covered her arms. She was silent during the trials. But now, she watched Jack like a predator watches a wounded animal. Lurvy kept close to Jack. But even she couldn't ignore the storm brewing behind Velshira's blank face. She wanted the bloodline claim, Lurvy whispered as they walked through the central clearing. If the stone had responded to her match, she would have become chiefess after my mother. Jack blinked. And now she's... What? Angry? Jealous? She's humiliated. Jack looked at Lurvy. I'm just a guy from Earth. Why? Does it matter that much? Lurvy stopped walking and looked him dead in the eyes. 'Cause the stone chose you a male, a human. It didn't glow for anyone else. That means something ancient woke up. And the elders don't know what it means? Jack gulped. So, ... I'm not just your mate. I'm a threat. Before she could answer, a shout rang through the village. Valshira stood at the sparring pit, her blade drawn, her voice thundered. Bring me the human now. The crowd grew quiet. Lurvy stepped in front of Jack, but the elder raised his hand. He must face the challenge of respect. Jack whispered. What's that? Lurvy whispered back. You can't kill her, but you must not lose. Jack paled. Not lose. She's a walking tank. The crowd gathered. Valshira stood in the center of the arena. No armor. It's just her weapon, her pride, and a glare sharp enough to cut bone. Jack stepped into the circle, heart pounding. The elder threw him a simple wooden staff. Jack caught it clumsily. Valshira grinned. This is how you impress her? She spat. A fragile male who falls on girls in the jungle? Jack stayed calm. Falling worked out okay for me. The tribe gasped. Valshira charged. Jack barely dodged the first swing. His staff snapped in two from her second blow. She moved like a monster fast, brutal, angry. He rolled, ducked, protect, and scrambled to his feet, breathing hard. You have no right to carry her mark. She shouted. Jack looked around. No more staff, only dirt. Then he spotted Lurvy's tribal sash lying nearby. A strong vine wrapped in beads. He grabbed it, twisted it around his forearm. Valshira rushed again. Swinging, Jack's sidestep hand tripped her. She slammed into the dirt. Furious, she jumped up, but Jack had wrapped the sash around her wrist and pulled. Hard off balance. Valshira staggered forward and Jack caught her by the waist. Flipping her to the ground with a surprised grunt, the entire crowd froze. Jack stood over her. Still fragile? Valshira stared at him, and then she laughed. It was short, cold, but real. She stood, brushing herself off. You're lucky, she growled, that your blood runs strange. What? And that your woman likes soft things. She stomped away. The elder raised both arms. Respect has been earned. The bond remains. The crowd cheered, but Jack didn't cheer. He looked at Lurvy. Her eyes were wide not with pride, but fear. What now? He asked her quietly. She whispered, You're stronger than they thought. That means more trials will come. You're not just a mate now. She touched her glowing pouch. You may become the future of our bloodline. Jack blinked. This started because I tripped and fell. Lurvy leaned close. And now, the galaxy might change because of it. The jungle air had changed. It wasn't the weather, it was her. Lurvy stood near the sacred waterfall, breathing hard. Her skin, usually a calm teal, now shimmered with glowing lines that pulsed with heat. Her eyes had turned brighter, almost silver. In the pouch between her legs, her ancestral bondstone was burning hot against her skin. She didn't tell Jack at first, not when her fingers trembled. Not when her heartbeat doubled just from hearing his footsteps. Not when her body began to ache in unfamiliar ways. But now it was getting harder to hide. She could feel it every time he came near. His scent triggered something inside her, a chemical reaction, an ancient pull. She was going into seasonal flare, a powerful biological state reserved for mated females. But this time it was too early. Too strong, and Jack was the cause. She crouched at the water's edge, splashing cold water on her face. It didn't help. Her skin still tingled. Her breath still came in short bursts. Then Jack's voice broke the silence. Lurvy, you okay? She flinched. He was close. Too close. He stepped around the brush, shirt half torn from training sweat, glistening on his chest. He looked worried. I've been looking for you, he said. You weren't at the campfire. Everyone thought you went fine, she snapped, but her voice cracked. Jack stepped closer. You don't look fine. She backed away, fists clenched. Stay back. Jack stopped. Did I do something? She shook her head, but her pouch glowed brighter. Her body betrayed her. Jack's eyes widened slightly. Is that thing supposed to do that? No, she said quietly. Not like this. There was a long silence. Then she finally said it. My body is changing. Because of you. Jack blinked. What do you mean, exactly? She sat on a nearby stone, trembling. Your touch, your scent. Your spirit, it's reprogramming me. I'm reacting like a fully claimed mate. But the bond isn't complete. My instincts want to finish it. Jack felt his mouth go dry. Finish it how? She gave him a slow, serious look. Mating. Final binding. Physical union. Jack opened his mouth, closed it again, then sat beside her. Okay, he said finally. This is a lot. Lurvy gave a dry laugh. That's one word for it. Is it dangerous? He asked. For me. She nodded. If the heat continues and doesn't resolve, I'll lose control of my mind. I'll go into bond frenzy. I might hurt others. Or myself. Jack stood up. Then we need to fix it. There must be a treatment. Lurvy looked at him. There's one, but it involves you. He froze. Go on. She stood, walking, slowly toward him. Her hands hovered near his chest, not touching yet. There's a ceremonial exchange. No full joining, just skin, breath, energy. It calms the female, grounds her. Jack blinked, like a cuddle session. Lurvy tilted her head. ... I don't know what cuddle means. But yes, close touch. It must be done with full intent. Jack looked around, and the tribe. They'll see it as progress. A good sign. He hesitated, then nodded. Okay, what do I do? She placed her hands on his shoulders, warm, trembling. Just be still, she whispered. Their foreheads touched again, but this time her whole body reacted. Her skin lit up like fire under water. Jack felt heat radiate off her in waves. She let out a shaky breath. It's working. But just as peace began to settle over them, a sharp crack rang out behind the trees. Jack spun around, instinct kicking in. From the shadows a figure stepped out, a masked elder, holding a ceremonial spear. You bond before the final trial? The figure growled. Jack stepped in front of Lurvy. She was hurting. I was helping. The elder raised the weapon. That help may cost everything. Lurvy stood, breath still shaky. Wait, he didn't break custom. It wasn't full union. The elder didn't lower his spear. Incomplete bonds are unstable, he hissed. If you do not seal it properly before moonrise, the energy will tear you apart. At Lurvy, she looked at him. Both understood now. This wasn't about tribe or tradition anymore. This was life or death, and time was running out. Moonlight spilled across the treetops like silver fire. Jack and Lurvy stood in the middle of the sacred hollow, breathing heavily, their hands still touching, warm and trembling from the earlier bonding ritual. But now, the air had changed. Masked Elder's warning still echoed in Jack's ears. Seal the bond, or it will tear you both apart. Lurvy looked weaker by the second. Her skin glowed unnaturally, veins of soft light spreading from her pouch through her body. She was overheating. Fading, Jack paced the clearing, heart pounding. So we have two options, he muttered. Run, or finish the bond. Lurvy shook her head slowly. Running won't stop it. The bond energy is already inside me. If we don't finish, I won't survive past sunrise. Jack looked at her, truly looked. The proud warrior girl he first met in the jungle now stood shaking. Vulnerable, her strength unraveling. And yet, she wasn't begging. She wasn't crying. She faced her fate with the calm of someone who had fought her whole life. He swallowed. And if I do finish it with you, what happens to me? You become part of this tribe, she whispered. You become mine, forever. Your body will change slightly. Your scent, your rhythm, you'll start. 2. Match me. Jack blinked. You mean I'll turn into an alien? She gave a weak smile. No. But your DNA will ... sync. Your body will start to feel like it belongs here, like I belong to you. Jack sat down beside her, quiet for a long moment. No one on Earth ever looked at me like that, he said softly. It's like I was worth choosing. Lurvy leaned against him, forehead resting on his shoulder. You didn't choose this, Jack, I know. But now I'm asking you, stay, not for duty. Not for tribe, for me. He closed his eyes, then opened them with clarity. Then let's do this the right way. She looked up. You're sure? Jack stood and extended his hand. If this is the end, I want it to be our beginning. The ritual cave was hidden behind the waterfall, a place where only bonded pairs were allowed. No guards, no eyes. Only soft glowing moss, ancient carvings, and warm stone. Lurvy lay on the ceremonial platform, her pulse weak, her glow flickering. Jack knelt beside her, unsure of the ancient steps. But he remembered her words. Touch with intent. Let the bond see your truth. He placed his hand over her pouch. It pulsed once. Then again, her eyes opened slowly, glowing silver. Jack, I'm here, he whispered, and I'm not going anywhere. Her arms reached up, wrapping around him. Their bodies pressed close, not for lust, not for show, but as to beings trying to become one. His heartbeat slowed to match hers. Her glow spread to him, then a flash like lightning inside their skin. Jack gasped as heat rushed through his chest. Visions flooded his mind, not just hers, but shared memories. Her laughter as a child, her first victory in combat, her tears when no one celebrated her, and she saw him too, his lonely birthdays, the medals he never felt proud of. The nights spent watching stars, wishing for a place to call home. They breathed together, and when the light dimmed, they were different, not alien, it's not human. Bonded, outside the cave. The elder waited. When Jack and Lurvy stepped out, hand in hand, the elder nodded. The bond has been sealed. But not all faces in the tribe looked pleased. From the crowd, Elshira stared silent. It's unreadable. Then she turned and disappeared into the shadows. Later that night, Lurvy sat beside Jack under the stars. She leaned on his chest, calmer. Now, stronger you should know, she said. The elders believe your bond means more than just us. He looked at her. What do you mean the stone reacted to your bloodline? The deeper truth is, your people may have been here before. Long, long ago. Jack blinked. Are you saying humans and your kind are connected? She nodded. We just reawakened that link. He smiled. Guess I really was meant to fall on you, she laughed. You and your earth humor. Her fingers curled tighter around his, because they both knew. The next step wouldn't be just about love. It would be about truth and what their bond meant for the entire galaxy. Dawn broke across the alien jungle like a soft fire, casting golden light through the canopy. Birds with crystal wings sang in strange rhythmic chirps. The world was quiet, but Jack's mind was not. He sat at the edge of a cliff just beyond the village, watching the twin suns rise, feeling the heat on his skin. His body felt different. Not sick, not weak, just aligned, as if something deep inside had adjusted to the rhythm of this world. Behind him, soft footsteps approached. Lurvy sat beside him, her body now calm and steady, the glowing veins that once burned through her skin now resting like gentle light underwater. She wore a ceremonial sash across her chest, and the once glowing pouch between her legs now hummed softly with a steady energy. You didn't run, she said. Jack smiled. Didn't feel like I had to. She looked at him for a moment, then said, Do you remember the first thing I said to you? Jack laughed. Does the bulge between my legs intrigue you, human? Yeah, kinda hard to forget, she smirked. And you almost fainted. I thought it was, something else. It was, she said, voice suddenly serious. Jack raised an eyebrow. It was a test, she said. Not just of your intentions, but of your reaction. You don't just bond by accident, Jack. Even though you fell on me, the stone would not have responded unless your spirit was already calling. Jack sat up straighter. You mean You knew it would glow? She shook her head. No, but I hoped. For years, I hoped someone would trigger it. I just never imagined it would be you. He smiled. A sweaty human with no idea what's going on. She touched his chest lightly. A human whose soul matched mine. There was a pause then, Jack asked. So, what now, am I supposed? To stay in the village? Learn to hunt? Paint my chest with war symbols and grow feathers? Lurvy laughed this time. Only if you want to. The tribe already respects you. You're the first male ever to bond through the stone. That makes you rare, sacred. Jack sighed. Great. No pressure. She leaned against him, quiet for a moment. But that's not all, Jack. Last night, after the bond completed, the elders examined the markings on the stone. He turned toward her, and she looked up, her expression serious. They think your DNA is ancient, that it matches the lost ancestors we thought were only myth. Human-like beings who came here thousands of years ago. Jack blinked.
Oh.
Saying humans were here first? Maybe not first, she said. But you're not as foreign as you think. We're not just compatible, we're connected. Jack looked out over the horizon. So, you and me, this tribe, this world?
Oh, no.
Of it was random. She nodded. I was always waiting for you. He leaned back on his hands, thinking. Funny, he muttered. I came here just looking for rare plants. I thought I was doing science, but I found home, she finished. He looked at her. Yeah, I guess I did. They sat in silence for a while. Then she nudged him playfully. So, the bulge. Never scared you after all? Jack laughed. No, but it sure confused the hell out of me. She grinned. It still does that to most males. He leaned in and kissed her forehead, and in that moment the jungle felt peaceful again. The fears, the trials, the misunderstandings they had all led to something real. Jack wasn't just a visitor anymore. He was a bondmate, a protector, a part of something ancient and beautiful. Later that day, as they walked back to the village, hand in hand, the younglings ran ahead, tossing glowing leaves into the air. The elders nodded in respect as Jack passed. Valshira, the once jealous warrior, stood off to the sidearms crossbutt, offered him a short, silent bow. Jack returned. It with a nod. Elirve looked at him with pride. You did more than survive, Jack. You became ours. He smiled. And you became mine. As the drums began to beat for the joining ceremony, Jack turned to her and whispered with a playful smirk. So, is there another trial I should worry about? Maybe something less intense, like cooking? She raised an eyebrow. You haven't seen our spice roots? He groaned. Here we go again. They both laughed as the drums played on, and their story, once a misunderstanding, became legend.